Well, I want to talk to you today about a book that has had a devastating impact on our century. In particular, it is a book titled Sexual Behavior in the Human Male. It's written in 1948. It was written by Alfred Kinsey. And this is one of the 10 books that screwed up the world, a book that we want to put into your hands. You can find it on the web at equip.org, available for those who support the ministry of the Christian Research Institute. Well, this book, Sexual Behavior in the Human Male, also known as the Kinsey Report, served to eradicate virtually every moral boundary of human sexuality through this steady drip of charts and graphs and careful posturing. Kinsey's guide was sort of to act like he was disinterested and therefore objective, and this was coldly calculated towards the overarching goal of ramming through the sexual revolution as just another aspect of the scientific revolution. Utilizing rig data, what he would do is try to convince the world that of boys raised on a farm, upwards of 17% had sex with animals before adolescence. And if you add up all sexual contacts, the number climbs to 50%. And since we know that people try to hide what they believe to be socially unacceptable, well, perhaps you could double those numbers again. Kinsey, he was trying to convince through these kinds of feigned, objective studies, he was trying to convince his devotees that homosexuality was nearly as common as heterosexuality. And in the end, his pseudoscience became a highly touted foundational pillar of the sexual revolution. It has been used in courts, classrooms, all to fuel the sexual revolution from the 60s to the present. And of course, in our generation, the revolution is bent on overthrowing all sexual boundaries and will only throttle down when it has overthrown its greatest obstacle. And that obstacle is the Judeo-Christian morality. And if you think that we are losing our culture in the West, you're absolutely right. And if you want to know why, again, you need to read a book like 10 Books That Screwed Up the World. I didn't write this book, but I am a big fan of the book. It's very readable, but it gives you a sense between wheat and chaff, heat and light. If you read it carefully, you will be blessed, but more than that, you'll be a blessing to others by disabusing those others of these kinds of weird ideas which have no basis in reality, and of course are completely opposed to the morality that we find in the authentic manual, which of course is the Bible, which is demonstrably divine as opposed to merely human in origin.